Thank you for checking out this little teaser of the history of the papacy and church. Here's a little taste of what's coming up soon on the History of the Papacy podcast. Now, if you like what you hear, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. If you want to support the podcast even more, consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com/history of the papacy. There are many levels and benefits for you, and you help keep the history of the papacy going. You can learn more about all of this at historyofthepapacypodcast.com. With that, here's another piece of the mosaic of the popes of Rome and Christian church, and I will definitely be talking to you more soon. Aquinas comes up a lot in the book. What did Thomas Aquinas, he's living in the 1200s. Is happiness something that had a different conception to him than it does to us today? Or what are some of the things maybe that are similar to the way somebody like Thomas Aquinas would have thought about happiness all the way back in the high Middle Ages versus what we might think about happiness today?
Yeah, it's interesting to me that you say that I mention Aquinas a lot in these pages. I tried actually to refer to him only sparingly because I thought it would scare away some of my readers. I guess I didn't succeed. But, there is an idea that's floating around that what somebody said, especially a white European male, give me a break, back in the 1200s, what could that say to us? Everything's different now. Well, human nature hasn't changed. What happiness is has not changed. It's just a matter of what we understand about it. There are some things that we understand better now. We understand electricity. They didn't even know that there was such a thing as electricity. But on the other hand, Thomas Aquinas is much further from many of the common fallacies, like whether happiness lies in pleasure. And he was the beneficiary of centuries of Christian thought and pagan philosophical thought, and he was in dialogues sometimes with Jews and with Muslims and with their thought. So he had a lot to say about this that still speaks to us. And I had mentioned in speaking with my students, I led them through an exercise that Aristotle had used too. And the students will answer, well, maybe happiness lies in honor, maybe it lies in pleasure, maybe it lies in wealth. Thomas Aquinas, it's terrific. He takes up those alternatives, but he takes up lots of others too. He distinguishes between sheer fame and glory, not the same thing. He talks about all sorts of alternative. Does happiness lie in power? Aristotle hadn't even discussed that. Does it lie in this? And a lot of these things, people. So this was extremely helpful to me